This video is pretty much going to serve as an intermission. So if you watch the previous videos, I did a lengthy series about my background. Definitely took more than I thought it would, but that kind of covered my whole background, my situation, that kind of led up to why I'm here, why I retired in that sense at my age, why I chose the Philippines, and just the situation that I had to go through of just getting here. That was not something that I was giving out as an example for others to follow. That was just a way to clarify my situation so that later on, if it comes up in discussions or questions, people will already know what was going on. It's going to answer a lot of questions that people usually have. Why did I choose the Philippines? Why did I retire overseas? Why at my age? Different things like that. You know, why am I physically or financially in whatever situation I'm in, etc. So all that background stuff you guys had to go through and watch. You know, I think there were 7 videos that covered my background, and then another 3 videos just explaining the process for me to actually get here. So if you went through all of that, now we're going to be getting into the main schedule. This is going to be covering all of the different things that I've been going over to help everybody get the information they need to decide if moving overseas like the Philippines is the best option, and if so, how to go about doing that. And the first part that we're going to be working on is the phase 1 research phase. This is the most critical phase because this is where you're going to start off with just maybe I'm going to retire overseas, to at the very end of that research phase, you're at that 100%. Yes, I am retiring to the Philippines. I know what city I'm going to be moving to. I've already been there. I'm 100%. I have no doubts in my mind. That's where I'm going. So that's the whole lengthy process. And we're talking about your budgets, lifestyles. We're going to be looking at scouting, like all these different factors that are going to be playing an important part of it. So essentially the way this is going to work is I'm going to be going through, I'm going to be putting out the whole phase 1 part, and then I'll do like update videos of what's going on with the different situation, travel restrictions, etc. And then we'll start with the next phase. And we're just going to pretty much probably be going off of that method. You know, do a whole section at once, then do an intermission break and go to the next section. That way you guys can just keep on going through and getting all the information that you need. So as far as, you know, going and watching the next sections, you're really going to want to make notes, go through, and if you need to, just write down the timeline tick of a video where something important was. So if you need to go back and watch that part again, you can do that, but you'll have your notes, because this whole research phase, again, this is the most important part, because this is where you are going to be really making those critical decisions about, is retiring overseas something that I am safe to do, that I'm going to be comfortable doing? Because a lot of people, when they think retiring overseas, they dream that they're going to be sprawled out on the beach in a lawn chair with an umbrella overhead, drinking a Corona with lime, and just kicking back, relaxing to the sound of the ocean, whatever. That's not always reality. So you really want to look into all of the details, all of the information about retiring overseas, and really see if this is something that's going to work for you based on your situation, your finances, etc. The information that I'm doing, I'm trying to put it out in a logical order, and I'm trying to put information out there as best I can to be accurate and pretty much based off my own experiences. I'm not perfect. There are other people that have been doing this a lot more than I have. They've been living here longer than I have. They've done this multiple times, so they have different experiences. And there's probably 100 or 1,000 other YouTube channels out there of foreigners that have retired here into the Philippines that are able to give some information. Definitely do not go off of just my channel for your information. Try and visit as many other channels as you can, but just be leery about that information. Be skeptical about what you read or hear. do your research, make sure you're verifying information, distinguishing fact from opinion. You know, just be diligent in that. But really, it's just going to come down to, this is the long part. This is where you're going to have to go, and you're going to have to make a bunch of checklists. You're going to have to check things off. You're going to have to answer really difficult questions for yourself, and really make sure that retiring overseas, away from your home country, away from your support system, your network, make sure that that is something that you are wanting to do, that you feel safe in doing so, and that you have the resources available to make it work. So hopefully this is just going to be some very good, useful information. Another thing you might have noticed if you've been watching previous videos is the intro and exit title screens probably changed a little bit. I don't have time right now to sit and do like one of those intro videos with slideshow and music and all that. That's just something that it takes time, that I would rather just do something simple and use my time to get this video content edited, uploaded, and out there for you guys. Once I get a break, I hate having a cord. Once I get a break and I've got more time available to where I can actually go in and do all that, then all right. But having my fiance go through and watch some of these videos just as a preview, she kind of pointed out some comments that the intro title or the exit title was just kind of bland looking. It got the point across, but some of it might be a little bit more difficult to read, or it just wasn't as interesting. So I changed it up a little bit. Only took a couple minutes. Other than that, got everything all good to go. I might be changing things up a little bit over time. You also might notice, if you have an attention to detail, that some of these videos are not posted in the order that they were recorded. We've had different issues back and forth where we've had to reshoot videos because the quality just wasn't there, or we had too much interruptions. Or there are videos that Vina's part of that had to wait until she had time off of work and we didn't have all these other interruptions, errands, etc., so that we could actually do the videos. So you might notice in the beginning, my hair is longer, then I've got a haircut, then my hair is longer again. That's why. It's just the ongoing process. It's basically taken me 3 weeks to film from that very first intro video all the way up to the end of the phase 1 research phase videos. There are currently 32 videos for that whole process, including this one. And the reason it took 3 weeks to just record them, again, I had to go back and re-record. On some occasions, I've had to record a video more than once, more than twice. Just a lot of interruptions and, you know, different issues where I record. If it starts raining, we're in the middle of the rainy season. We've had a couple tropical storms, raining quite a bit, and when it rains really hard, the noise is so bad out here that I can't do any recording. And it was like that for close to a week. So it took a while to get all that stuff recorded. Now it's all in the process of doing the editing. And the editing has taken a very long time just because of my equipment. I'm not going to really go into too much detail on technical difficulties and all that process, mostly because it's not relevant. By the time you watch these videos, everything will have been done anyway, so it's not that important. But later on, if anybody is curious about the process that I use to record, edit, upload, I can go ahead and do a video on that. If anybody's just, you know, interested in it, maybe they're wanting to do their own channel and they're curious to see what other people use for techniques. But that pretty much covers it. So after this video, we're going to go into the very first video of the research phase, which is critical factors. You really need to make sure that you are paying attention to these videos. Try not to skip over them because they're all going to be important. So I really appreciate you guys watching these videos, giving feedback. I'm just really hoping that this is going to be helping people out. Thanks.